After auditing hundreds of ad accounts, the number one issue I see in ad accounts is simply an improper use of creative testing, either the inability to build proper assets that are scalable, the inability to create an infrastructure in the ad account that is scalable, or three, just misunderstanding the use of creative testing and the importance of it. So in today's video, I'll be sharing all three of those things with you, and then also examples of companies doing this extremely well so you can mimic this as well in your own ad account. So let's dive in and let's first talk about the importance of creative testing. So there's several levers that and reasons that creative testing is important, but specifically it's going to be the highest performance lever that you can pull in your ad account. So anytime you start to see performance go a little bit flat and it's stale, it's likely because your creative is fatiguing. And there's a direct correlation with when you increase your creative testing and you have fresh testing for new audiences or more niche and narrow audiences, that you start to see the performance of your ad account increase. Number two is this is going to be the most effective way to actually target people. So all of my ad accounts run broad targeting. Interest targeting is dead in 2025. Post iOS 14.5, which happened years ago, the ability to effectively target based on interest targeting in the actual ad account has severely diminished. And you actually do your targeting now and speak to the person you want to speak to by putting it in the creative. Because what Meta does with their millions of psychographic data points is they understand who it is that you're trying to reach based on your creative. And then they actually put your ad in front of people who they know are interested in what it is that you have to offer or who it's relevant to. So I'll give you guys examples of this. I don't want to jump the gun too much, but a few other things that I want to go over real fast is there's three main levers for creative testing that I think are essential to understand, because this is going to help you guys conceptualize creative iterations on a weekly basis so you're never running flat on ideas. And I'll go quick, but one is going to be your ICP. So do you want to talk, let's say you're a weighted blanket company and you want to talk to people who are having a poor time sleeping. You're hitting on pain points. You want to talk to people who want to reduce anxiety, who want to have better skin. You would drill into each of those things in a creative testing set, and you'd have 4 to 6 ads that would exist where you're talking to that specific point. So again, we'll drill into this more here in a bit, but ICP. So who is it that you're trying to reach? Are you trying to reach moms between the ages of 30 and 40? Are you trying to reach the gym goer who's young? Who are you trying to reach? That's one. Number two is your offer. Is it a specific offer that you have and positioning of your product that gets people to click and then convert, coupled in with this ICP? So these all kind of compound and couple into each other. Last is going to be your product. What are you selling? That will dictate, of course, your customer profile and the offer that you propose. You don't have to stack all these together, but there are several combinations when you start to stack these together. You can run these isolated, which is what we'll go over here in a second. And then I'll show you how to mature your creative testing over time and how you can compound these. So when I say there's different phases and you can mature your creative testing, all I'm meaning is you can start to stack those three levers that I had mentioned, but really you can just use one of these for each of what I'm about to go over, and you can have never ending ideas. Let me explain a little bit more. So this is how I would build most of my ad accounts on a prospecting level are built this way. I'll have a creative testing campaign. Every ad set right here in the purple is going to be broad testing or broad targeting, broad targeting, broad targeting. And what they're going to have is they're each going to have, the blue is represented as ads. They're each going to have anywhere from 4 to 8 pieces of creative based on the level of spend that the client is spending. And I have these as just different ad variations or ad types. So a static image, a video maybe, and maybe it's a GIF that we run, right? So we're gonna have different variations of content type as our ads. And then at each level of here, each ad set, again, it's gonna be broad targeting, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna test one of these three levers, right? So maybe it is product that we're testing or ICP or offer. So for this example, we're testing a different product. So maybe this example, we're testing shirts, right? Or let's go back to the weighted blanket. We're testing a weighted blanket and the benefits. We're testing a benefit angle. So our weighted blankets give you 30% more sleep or whatever it is, right? We're going to test that. We're going to test the product and benefit. We're going to have a static that highlights the benefit, another static that doesn't look similar to this static. They're going to look different, but they're overall going to be communicating the same thing. And we're going to be talking to people who have trouble sleeping and communicating to them that our product helps people generate sleep not only faster but more efficiently, and that they get more of it, right? And then we'll have a video that kind of breaks it down. That could be a founder video, that could be UGC content, and then we'll have a GIF that kind of does the same of what these statics are doing, but in a GIF format. And this is phase one, and you're essentially, you can have in phase one, you can have 20 of these different product benefits and angles, right? You can have 20 different ones of these. If we want to go down a bit more, like over here, we're talking about the product benefit. Here's an example of one of these product benefit ones. It's a little bit more broad in nature, but it's going to highlight all the benefits. And if you wanted to be very specific, you can drill into one particular benefit and really expand upon all its key benefits and why it's important and how it impacts you. But this is an AG1 ad. And as you can see, they have a picture of their product and they talk about all the benefits of their product, right? And so overall, this is a health benefit. That's what they're communicating. The primary thing they're communicating here is health and just better health by using their supplement. If we go down to phase two, this is kind of where you still talk about a benefit, a key benefit, but you now highlight a very specific customer profile, right? And so this is what I mean by the ad does the targeting. In number one, in phase one, it's going to reach out and it's going to have Facebook's going to have a very broad understanding of people who are concerned about health and be able to target people who overall may be interested in this product. But if we start going a level deeper and we fold in a specific customer profile, it's going to have a smaller size of audience, people who are still interested in health, but now it's going to talk to a very specific audience. So let me show you. We're talking to people who care about their health, but more specifically are runners, the daily healthy habit for runners. Right there, boom. That is how you do your targeting in 2025. You talk directly about a benefit. So Meta knows who's going to be interested in health. And then you also fold in a very specific customer profile. This is for runners. These are people who run and who are into running. And Meta knows that, and they will put your ad in front of people who care about both of those things. And so just to show you another example of this, same thing right here. This is the same company. They are still talking about, they have like one story. This is the actual ad copy the ad is using, but a runner's worst nightmare. It's a UGC style video, but it's very clearly geared towards runners. It has someone running at the very beginning, so visually, and then I don't know if you guys heard some of this. So it obviously has someone running. It has this overlay text, and then the actual script of the ad is, it starts out with this, running while bloating is the worst feeling ever. And so they talk about the benefit that this product can help with bloating. So that's another benefit folded in with a specific customer profile, which is running. So again, you would have that, and you would have multiple different concepts or ad types that you would fold in, right? So you would talk about runners and health, static, video, and GIF. And you can go anywhere from 4 to 8 ads, really just depends on budget. And as I mentioned before, you do not have to keep graduating this. The whole phase 3 part of this is really just to show you how you'd mix those 3 components or levers together to conceptualize endless ideas of creative testing and overall shrink the pool in terms of who's going to be most interested. As you graduate to new phases, as I'm showing here, you are going to lower the pool or the total addressable market for that creative to actually hit and be effective and relevant for, but it is actually going to be hyper focused to an audience, which is likely going to lead to a higher potential conversion rate or outcome. So that ad that's really drilled in on benefit, customer profile, and offer is likely going to be able to scale to a higher efficiency than something up here that's just talking about benefit. Benefit has a really high likelihood of maintaining its, let's just say it's doing a 3 ROAS. It has a high likelihood of maintaining that for a while because the audience pool is so large. But in number 3, you have a higher likelihood of hitting a specific niche of people and it becoming a very, like almost doubling the conversion rate of what phase 1 would produce. And so phase 3 is going to be a little bit of a mix of all those. And I'll just show you. So again, this is going to be, actually, this one didn't specifically talk about runners in this one, but this is going to be, yeah, if your gut could talk, it would ask for this. So this is obviously going to be very health oriented. It's going to give benefits. And then here's the offer: get my free welcome kit. So the way they could have intersected all three of these is, if you're a runner, your gut is begging for this. Boom. You just did your targeting in the ad copy overlay. You have your key points here, and then you have the offer: get my free welcome kit. Boom. That's how you intersect all three of those. And then once you test these guys, the way to know and iterate on winning creative over time is kind of two pronged. One, after a little bit of time, you're going to want to set up a separate campaign that's going to host all your winners. So let's say you have a winner right here, a winner right here, and a winner right here. And there are very clear, obvious winners. And you would identify these a few different ways, but primarily based upon what you identified your ideal ROAS for profitability to be. You would start to fold these and graduate them into this campaign right here, which would house all of your creative winners. And so when you do that, you'll start to get a really clear understanding of what works and what doesn't, what angles are working and what doesn't. And then as you iterate on those, you will know, I need to produce more of the runner style things. Like, runners love our product. We've just realized that. Or moms really love our product, whatever that is. So you'll be able to have a better understanding on iterating on specific customer profiles that work really well, but also different angles. So maybe it's this call out, the 75 plus ingredients that really, really drive people to convert. And you would know that by highlighting that specific point. So again, I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole, but that's essentially how I do my creative testing. Here's some examples that help you guys. Hope this was helpful to you. Feel free, always reach out if you have any questions on how this can be implemented for you, or if you just have any general questions, and follow for more videos like this.